what's the difference between application permissions and delegated permissions inside of the Microsoft Identity Platform? So delegated permissions are probably what you're most familiar with when you think about consent and access tokens and clients and resources. Delegated permissions are a way of indicating that the user has approved this client to act on their behalf when they go call a resource. So a resource indicates, I have some permission or scope called files.read, and the client asks the user via the login server, hey, can I go call resource.files.read on your behalf? The consent occurs, and a delegated permission or consent is recorded inside of the login server that indicates that the user has said that this client can call this resource using this scope. But what happens when you're just doing service principal authentication? There's no user in the mix, and at that point we do something called an application permission. And that's sort of saying that this service principal is allowed to call this resource with this permission. A consent still needs to occur there, so the tenant administrator is the one who typically says, yep, that service principal can call files.read, and that's usually because this is a more high-powered scenario here. An example inside of Microsoft Graph would be email.read.write.all, or sorry, mail.readwrite.all, which indicates that that application can read and write email on behalf of any user inside of the tenant. That's a pretty high-powered permission, so we leave that to a tenant. You can also do pre-authorization, which indicates that this resource trusts this application inside of all tenants in the world. And that's really nice for building an ecosystem of applications where you own all of them and trust them all.